we're gonna go drinking tonight. Drinking tonight. We're gonna go drinking tonight. Tequila time, feeling fine as long as you're buying. Line 'em up and double fist. We drinking this, drinking that, drinking till we yak. There's never been a night like this. Oh yeah, Jaeger bomb time, Corona and lime. Party all night till closing time. You know that girl's gonna drive me to drinking. Drinking tonight. We're gonna go drinking tonight. Drinking tonight. We're gonna go drinking tonight.
Hey guys, it's Steve with Orlando Collector Deviants. We are here tonight drinking with Roland Mann of Silverline Comics. How are you doing? So you got yours? I got mine.
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Yours looks like Chick-fil-A.
It is Chick-fil-A.
I had Cutter run down to racetrack and grab me something tonight.
You got one of those monster racetracks, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these days I only have a lot of time to have calories, so I make it count.
There you go. That's right. Yeah.
So how you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing fine, sir. I am hanging in there, doing lots of trying to make comics, still teaching. So same old, but I'm still loving it.
Well,
I can sneak you some sneak peeks. These haven't been seen anywhere before, or one of them hasn't. You want a sneak peek?
we can get a sneak peek. And that's the current Kickstarter you got going on.
It is, yeah. So that's the cover for Cape Town, and then this is the foil cover. We have seen this one, right? So that one's a picture on the Kickstarter, but I just got this one, so I haven't had a chance to get a picture and get it up yet. So, but you'll notice this one doesn't even have a number on it, so we got to get that fixed. And I pointed that out to him, and he goes, "You sent me the wrong file," and I'm like, "I'll send you another file." But yeah,
so that's the exclusive one right there.
Without the number, yeah. So the funny thing about it is, all right. So this is not even. This is just all I needed to see. All it was just this, right? This is just a mock-up. This is not even my book in it.
So it's a very expensive limited edition.
Yeah. So and that's usually what he does. Is I don't think my book is in this one either. No. Oh, but I like this art. Wow, this is good art in here. I wonder who this is. Anyway, yeah. So he doesn't.
Line employee.
I may have to check them out. So, but yeah. So these are the two foil covers that are with the Kickstarter, and I think they look really, really good. I'm excited about it. It's hard to see them, to photograph them. BJ takes the pictures and she's like, man, it's hard because of the light, or sometimes if it reflects, then you can't, just right, then you can't even see anything, right?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing though. If you get the picture with it reflecting, then people do know it is the foil cover.
Right. Yeah.
It helps sell that foilness.
Yeah.
Is that even a word?
Foilness? It is now, right?
I was going to say.
So anyway, I'm excited. I just got these, and I haven't had a chance to get a picture of this one up on the Kickstarter yet. So I'm going to try to do that tonight. Depends on. I run out of time. I find that I run out of hours really quickly.
There's not enough hours in a day.
No. I turn around and it's 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to bed, and I run out of hours before I run out of steam.
Well, as much as I'm here about with he's being Silverline and all that,
Yep.
I am here, and I kind of told you a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I wanted to talk about you. I want to talk about actual creating the story for the comic.
Okay.
Because in the comics, the artists always get the love,
Yep.
but artists don't make the story. Somebody else makes the story.
Right.
The artist just makes the story come alive.
Yeah. Yeah. And they make it look good.
So tell us, because I know you make a lot of those stories.
Yeah.
So tell us how does it come from in head to paper to comic?
Yeah, so for me, there's a couple of things that I think you have to have in order to make a good story. If you've ever read a comic book and you finish the first issue and you're like, well, that was interesting, but I'm not really sure what that was. What did I just read, right? And it's not usually because you can't understand the words, right? You understand the words, but there's no point to the story. And so for me, one of the things I have to determine early on is, what does my character want, right? What are they trying to accomplish? What thing are they trying to do? Now, because these are comic books, those have to be visual things. So, whether it's to defeat the bad guy, save the family member, rescue somebody, it has to be something that you can see happen, because you want to be able to see it when it's drawn, right? A lot of people say, oh, well, you can do things like in the internal things, like, oh, well, he's just looking for love. Well, the problem with that is, how do you draw that, right?
Well, I've been to some websites and they draw people having love all the time.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't.
that's a different story.
You can. I mean, there are ways that you can, but if you hone down, or what exactly is it that they're looking for, you might can figure that out and figure out what you're going to draw. But you can't have the internal thing be the only thing you have. And this is the problem sometimes with some comics, is that they don't have a focus for their main characters, for the protagonist, right? So that's, for me, that's one thing. The other thing is, what I try to do, and I wish I could show you. What I might be able to show you. So I have. I'm old school enough. My camera, go back and show you my short pants. I'm old school enough that I tend to still write a lot of my. Well, I got it right here somewhere. Hold on, because I've been working on it. Where? Oh, here it is, right in front of me. Let me see if I cannot mess up my cords here. All right. So I'll tell you what this is, actually. So this is actually a new cat mouse story that I'm working on. So you can see, I start writing. I have the things that I want to do, right? And I just write. And these are usually things that are happening with my characters as they move forward, right? I think that's the last page, I think. Yeah. But you'll notice one of the things that I do is I'll go through here and you can see C, B, D, right? And then this is actually A, right? So I go back through here, and once I get a lot of these things down, I'm like, this is not the sequence in which because this is not visually appealing, but it's something I feel that my story needs to have, but I don't need to start there because that'll bore my readers and I'll put them to sleep because it's a slower scene. So I go over here and go, okay, well, here's where the action is. Let me start here with the action. So you can see that has A, right? So I start on the action and then figure out how to work in some of this stuff that chronologically occurs before this, right? And then one of the hardest things, you've probably heard writers talk about this, one of the hardest things to try to do is then cut stuff, right? Well, do I really need this? If I'm skipping all of it to get to this, do I really need all of this? Well, the answer is maybe. I mean, I don't know yet, but as I go to, so what I'll do is I'll try to get the whole story, right, beginning to end, fleshed out like this, right? And then I'll go and I'll rearrange it like you see my numbers here. And then I'll try to figure out, okay, if I'm going to do this story in 3 issues, where are my issue breaks? Where does number 1 end? Where does number 2 end? And then, of course, number 3 would be the end, right? Of course, you've read enough of my stuff that you know that I like cliffhangers. So I'm looking for some kind of element of a cliffhanger about 1/3 of the way in, and then about the 2/3 of the way in. If I'm doing 3 issues, 2/3 of the way in, I'm looking for another cliffhanger, right? And these are not always, they don't always, because a lot of people say, well, that's just your first, second, third acts. Sometimes, yes, if you know anything about story structure, sometimes that's the case. More times than not, it's not necessarily the case, but it can be. I kind of work with the act structure in mind, but I don't write the issues to the act structure. I write the issues to, I got to give you something exciting in every issue, and I got to give you meat in every issue, and then I have to end that issue, unless it's the last one, I have to end it on some kind of cliffhanger to make you want to come back and get the next one, right? So so that's the way I kind of put them together. And then once I have the individual issues kind of figured out, then I'll go back in and start saying, okay, well, in this issue, this is the group of stuff I have happening in the first issue. How many pages do I want to devote to this scene? How many pages do I want to devote to this scene? Right. One of my personal theories, practices has been always that I know that the artist is the one the artist is going to sell the comic first. I know that, right? Sometimes it's the title, right? Sometimes, the cover is going to get the cover is going to get them to pick it up, right? They're going to pick it up based on the cover, and then they're going to flip through the comic. If the art looks good, they'll buy it. Now, there is some situations where if particularly, well, you've talked to me at the show, right? Sometimes if I can tell you a little bit about the story, even if you're looking at the art and going, I don't so the art. But if I'm telling you the story and you're like, well, that sounds interesting, right? The art might not make me go, wow, I got to have it, right? But this story sounds interesting, then you'll pick it up. So what I try to do is, if I'm writing 22 pages, and I even tell my artist this, look, here's the deal. I got 22 pages. I'm going to try to make sure that at least 11 of those are going to be full of action, right? Because what artist wants to draw 20 pages of talking heads? Well, who wants to read 20 pages of talking heads? Not me. I don't want to read 20 pages of talking heads. I don't want to write 20 pages of talking heads. So my personal goal for every issue is to try to do about at least half action and then half, with slower content. And sometimes I can get in more than 11 pages of action, but that's at least my goal.
Scott Finster from Monster Manor says, hey guys.
What's up, Scott?
Scott has his podcast on Saturday nights. He's on Roku channel now. He's big time. He still remembers us, so I know that's cool that he still comes and graces us with his presence.
Yeah. Congrats on the Roku.
If you guys want to see him, he is gonna be at Sci-Fi Bartow this Saturday for their 10th anniversary.
Wow, 10th anniversary, huh?
And then he'll also be at the 3rd anniversary of Olo Comic and Toy Show, Woo-hoo! April 8th.
I'll be there.
The week after MegaCon. For all the people that couldn't afford to go to MegaCon, you can come see us. We got a good show still lined up.
Yep, I'll be there.
And you'll be able to walk around our show. You'll be able to enjoy our show.
And you won't have to pay $60 just to talk to somebody.
Exactly. There's Boris also.
What's up, Boris?
Silver Comic Roland.
I'll take it.
I thought he was going to say silver-haired Roland, but,
It's funny because I shaved over Christmas, and then when I grew this back out, my son was like, oh, you did grow it back out, didn't you? Wasn't very nice of
And
him.
Boris says, "Block, you live on a cul-de-sac." Who lives on a cul-de-sac? Nobody lives on a cul-de-sac anymore.
I was gonna say he may be thinking of your old place.
I think he thinks of my old place. But and see, you know what? Me and Trish went and got haircuts the other night, and we both got senior discounts, and I was happy.
Yeah, I would be glad to take a senior discount.
And I got him to trim the beard. It's like woohoo, you know.
Nice.
Now.
Hey, I don't look. She's the one who complains about being considered a senior out places.
Yeah.
I'm like, do it. It saves me money.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And in this economy, we absolutely need to save, or at least we do. We absolutely need to save as much as we possibly can. So, yeah.
Well, actually, you know what I do? Like, if they give me that senior discount, I turn around and I give them it back as their tip.
A tip. Yeah.
You know, because they're already getting a certain amount of a tip from me, and like that, I save $2 a person. So
Right.
I turn around and that $2 a person I saved, I put it back to them as a tip because I was already planning on spending that money.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. We do, LOL. It has a square. Boris used to stand in until it needed him on the show. We let him wait inside now. Oh, see, you're so nice. Boris saw Roland has Chick-fil-A cup, and Boris going to open up a food truck next to one and serve the same food. Going to call it Side Chick.
Yeah. The same thing, huh?
Oh, hey, you never know.
Hey, it might. Well, I was going to say it might be faster. The problem with that theory, though, Chick-fil-A is so doggone fast. You know, if you ever frequent Chick-fil-A, and then I'm turning into a Chick-fil-A commercial, which is not what this was intended to be. If you ever go to Chick-fil-A, and then you know, say the next couple of days you go to not a Chick-fil-A, you will realize how terrible that service is and how good Chick-fil-A is. You're just like three buildings down. How can you have such poor service? And Chick-fil-A is killing it right there. Can't you learn anything from what they're doing? I'm telling you, man, the certain golden arches, I cannot stand to go through their drive-through.
You know, I haven't been to that place that you just said right there in a few years.
Yeah.
I just, ever since they changed the fry recipe, not even worth my time.
Right. I know.
The fry recipe and the nugget recipe, they changed them. And it's like, no, never mind.
We didn't go for, we went obviously, if you have kids, you kind of got to go, right? But we didn't go for years and years and years until my son said, "Hey, McDonald's has $1 large Cokes." And I'm like, "What? The Cokes are $1?" He goes, "Yeah, every size Coke is large." So we started running through the McDonald's drive-through just to get the Cokes. Yeah. So it's terrible.
That said, Boris stopped breaking stuff. He still rummages through the toy shelves, though. Yeah, but Scott, you got to pay attention because he's rummaging through the toy shelf and he's changing out good toys with broken toys.
Yeah.
And he just figures you aren't going to notice.
Yeah. So take them home, play with them, right? Then stick them back in the box and swap them out.
And then Boris says that's the genius. Boris will put the food in bulk from Chick-fil-A and sell it with the new wrappers. And there's been a child abduction.
Oh, no. I was going to say, what does that sound? It sounds like a tornado warning.
In Clay County. You'll probably be getting one here shortly because that's off my phone. I don't even know where Clay County is. So.
I don't know where Clay County is either.
Tommy says, "Oh no, look who they let on the internet." I know, Tommy. They don't let me out very often.
What's up, Tommy?
And Scott we're waiting on McDowell's to open up here. Comics by the Bay. LOL, I just got that alert. What's up, guys? How you doing? Comics by the Bay has a YouTube channel. They go through and they review a lot of things comics and comic related.
Oh, well, how come he hadn't reviewed any Silverline comics?
Oh.
That's because you're too... Hey.
Are we too small? Is that what you're saying?
No, Silverline's my gig.
Oh, okay.
Everybody back off Silverline. Silverline's my gig.
Well, you kind of stopped reviewing comics, though, didn't you? You haven't reviewed a comic in...
Look, ever since I moved, everybody just thought I quit everything. We just went on a hiatus for a little bit when we moved.
Well, I know that we have well, we did have for a long time. Obviously, since you went on the hiatus, we haven't. But we had the Silverline Week, the O.C.D. Silverline Week, in
Yep.
which every month we'd send you somebody.
Yep. And we, like I said, once we moved, everything just kind of.
Oh yeah.
We took a break. I
Yeah.
mean, our house still isn't our house yet.
Yeah.
My garage is still like packed full of boxes.
Yeah. Well, you got to take a break some. You gotta recharge the batteries, and it's people. I think people don't realize it's tough doing a show every single week, and every single week you're there, and every single week you don't miss, and you do a show,
and trying to make sure you always have a guest, and every
yeah.
And what do you do when the guest flakes out at you at the last minute?
We've been there.
Let's see.
Listen, I won't mention his name because he's still somebody I like, but we had a fairly big name creator scheduled. We had swapped messages. Yeah. And then like 2 days before, I sent him the link, and the day before, I sent a message. Hey, I'm looking forward to it. He saw the messages because it's on Facebook. You can tell he saw it. And then we went live, and I said, "Hey, here's the link again. Just reminding you." Never showed. He saw the link, but here's the even worse thing about it that kind of made me upset. Never once did I get man, I'm sorry, I didn't show up, and I wouldn't have even needed an excuse. Just I'm sorry I didn't show up. I'm sorry that, I don't care what. Maybe he just didn't feel like coming on. That's fine, but just tell me, hey, I'm sorry I didn't show up. Your dog died, you had a doctor's appointment, whatever. You don't have to offer me that, but just tell me you're sorry you didn't show up. And I didn't get that. So I was a little disheartened by that.
I had that one time. And then we kind of got not firm, but because we went through the agent to set all this up, and
wow.
And they flaked on us, so we kind of went through. So then he kind of got pissed that he had to do it, and even though it was supposed to be an hour, he only gave me 15 minutes. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so hey, shit happens.
It does, and that's one of those things I always say. You just make a mental note right here. It's like, okay, that person, this is the kind of person that person is, and the next time I see their book come up, I'll just go, I think I'll pass. I'll save my money, and I probably it's a good book, and I probably would enjoy it, but you did me wrong, and I'm just gonna save my money and spend it somewhere else. That's me.
Oh yeah, well, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, Tommy says Renee loves the files at McDonald's. It's the best thing they've got, if you ask Renee.
Tommy's probably driving again.
The files are probably the only thing good at that place.
Yeah.
Tommy Clyde the Bay says not at all. I'm always down for something new. LOL. So, okay.
So here's my thing. We need reviews of our comics, because we can't seem to get people to review them in a way that says, hey, here's this comic, here's what it's about, artwork is good, story is good, you should go buy it. I mean, you always say go buy it, go support it, these guys are great, which I very much appreciate. That, big hugs to you. But you don't really review them, do you? You haven't. Maybe when you first started.
I've done before, yeah.
Okay.
But you also got to remember,
we're friends, and so you don't ever want to say anything that would hurt my feelings.
I usually review them with the person who made the comic, because usually you give me who did it,
right?
And on the show, I sit there. Oh well, on this page, so and so,
Right. Yes.
So for the most part, I do, but with you guys, it's different.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Because I usually get the one-on-one with whoever.
Yes, you do.
The story.
Yes, because you have that special that special connection.
That little one, yeah. But it's one of those that, no, do I go out and do a whole, okay, look at this is, and I don't have one on me. But I will show you what I do have handy right here. I am going to
Rugrats. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
Remember the one I told you that I had packed away and couldn't, so I got a second one so I could get more people to sign.
Yep.
This is the one that I had packed away.
Nice.
You can see, I don't know, you can't see because you signed in gold. There's, I got the signatures.
I can see that one. Yeah, I can see one or two. I can't read them from this distance, but I can see some signatures there.
Yeah, so I got it. But like I said, do I sit there and say, okay, look at this. Here is Friar Rush, boom, boom. Not anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
It's trying to find time between OLO, between O.C.D, between drinking with, between real world job.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I know you and I talked about this, but I know you guys are like me too. It's kind of like, okay, well, when you work the real world job, then you do some other stuff, and it's kind of like, well, now it's time to go to bed. Yep. I know if Tommy's still listening, I know he has the same issues too, because he and I talk. He and I ride bikes now, and he's ridden them for a long time, but I joined him last year.
You ride bikes or you crash bikes?
We ride them.
Okay, and then Tommy knows how to stop, and you do it the hard way.
Tommy stops in front of me, and that's what happens. He stops in front of me. That's probably. So I'm trying to think. I haven't crashed too many times. I know Tommy showed you the video of like me laying over. That really wasn't a crash. That was just it was, I guess, but it didn't. It was just I laid over and I wasn't going very fast. The worst one though, we were waiting to go across a major road. We were at a light, right? And Tommy was right in front of me, and I was right behind him. And it had one of those big steel bars. You go up at a crosswalk, and they've got the steel bars there that you can kind of hold on to, right? And Tommy started to go, and so I just started to go too, but he stopped. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to either ram into Tommy, or I've got to do something else. And so trying not to ram into Tommy, I fell into the bar and hit myself like right there. So bad. It bruised. I left this big bruise. I thought I broke my ribs. I went into the doctor, got an x-ray. It wasn't broken, thankfully, but it hurt. I was like, I can't breathe. I'm trying to think of the only other time I did do I
still one where you went like over the head, the handrails, like face first. It looked like. Didn't you do that one too?
I did, but that was not. I don't think he recorded that one. I've done that once, but I don't think
he did record that one. Because that's one he showed me, I believe.
Maybe I don't remember him recording that one. We were on a little obstacle course thing, and I came to the end, and it had a drop off, and rather than kind of ramp off of it, my front wheel went whoop, and I went wah. I went over. I did hit on a trail. We were at trails. There's your thing again. So we were at a lot of trails, and I did hit. There was a path that had a tree in the middle of the path, and so the path went around the tree, but kind of like a Bugs Bunny thing you've seen, right? And so I went to the left.
And your bike went to the right?
What? No, there was a log sticking out. So my front tire just went pow, hit that log, and I went wah. I went over the bike. My bike just stopped.
So I'm going to stop real quick. Comics by the Bay. If you want to meet Roland, come to Olo. Are you doing anything before Olo? Before April 8th?
No, sir. Olo is my first show. Let me look at my calendar to make sure I'm not lying.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can still come to Olo and meet him. And talk with him, and you could talk about some kind of.
Olo is my first show of the year.
Okay. Tommy he's waiting to review Trump's number 4 for me. Boris says he left Cool Toys, He Do, G.I. Clyde, Robo Security Guard, and the entire Star Trek Wars vintage stuff like Darth Bill. Call Boris if your people flake on you. And then Scott's saying Michael Berryman came on our show the same day he buried his dog. No excuse is a good excuse. That's dedication. He did 2 hours with us. Scott also, this is to you, Roland. Send us horror titles and we'll review for you.
I'm making a note of that right now.
And Boris says Boris did a review on Silverline book Bloodline.
He did. I remember that. Yep.
And Tommy's like, he crashed them. He's much better. Not in a long time, a few months back. And Steve, you need to go riding with us this weekend. I would love to go riding with you guys, but I have a huge weekend. Saturday is Sci-Fi Bartow. And then Sunday is up in Jacksonville at Retrorama.
Good grief. You're like going two opposite directions there.
Two opposite. It's going to be a long weekend, and it is a nice thing that I have Monday off.
And that gas bill is going to be crazy.
Hey, you know what? You've known us for many years, and we've drove from one side of Florida to the other side and back all in one day for it.
Yep.
Boris says Boris asked the master for the Olo weekend off so he can go. That's great. And Tommy says, skip it, come riding, better for your life. Actually, I'm going to say Tommy's never been to Sci-Fi Bartow because that's a lot of walking. Sci-Fi Bartow is going to be like 9 hours of just walking back and forth and talking with people. And
you should join us sometime if you're not doing we have fun. We just ride and chat and talk, and Tommy and I solve all the ills of the comic book industry. We fix it all. No one ever listens to us, right? But Tommy and I, we solve everything. We fix it, everything. You should. Like I said, we have fun. There are people out there that fortunately, for me anyway, there are people out there that are super, super serious about their bike riding. And Tommy is
one of them.
Well, I know not quite.
He's videos.
Oh yeah, but he's not quite that he's not quite like that, because he would leave me behind if he was. And I listen, I have you could ask BJ. I have so much fun going out to ride with Tommy, because we get exercise in, we see some cool trails, ride some cool trails. It's good for me and for my heart, because I don't get it. This is where I sit most of the day right here. You're
not teaching in person anymore?
Oh, yeah, I do, but this month, no. This month they didn't have enough students in the class, and so they gave me extra online class. So no, for the month of February, I have not been on the campus at all. I'll go back, not next week, but the week after, to campus. But even then, I only go, a couple times a week for, my classes are 4 hours, but I only go a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, depending on the week. So this is still where I spend the majority of my time.
So you like to stay in the closet. We understand.
It's not a closet.
I know. Yeah. We were joking.
Except when the weather is really good, I'll go out on the back porch and do this, right? And when I say really good, my definition of really good is when it's cool. I like to go out on the back, not cold, but cool. I like to go out on the back porch when it's a little too cold for me to sit in short pants and a t-shirt. And that's why I hid the Snuggie before we went live, right? I'll take the Snuggie out there, put the Snuggie, and I like those because you can put your arms in them and they'll still be covered up and I can still write, So I'll put the Snuggie on and prop my feet up in the chair in front of me, and I'll just sit there and write on the back porch.
You know what you need? You need one of those fire pits. I'm going to tell you, since we moved to this house and we have a fire pit that came with the house.
Yeah.
I mean, that is nice on those chilly days,
I'll bet. Yeah.
Just let it go and chill out and have some s'mores.
Yeah. S'mores, hot dogs.
We do
marshmallows.
I do more of the hot dogs. Trish and Kelsey do more of the s'mores, but
yeah.
Or
s'mores
just
was always, s'mores was always a lot of work. I
like marshmallows.
Me too. I like marshmallows. I like hot dogs, but s'mores to me, I've done them, but they were always just a lot of work. I'm like,
it's worth it.
I heard Trish. But yeah.
Now I'm going to get back to the writing
Okay.
because you got the whole story. And
Yes,
you
sir.
said, okay, I got 22 pages of a book. Now, do you break it down per panel or per page?
So, that's a good question. So that's in general, there are two ways that you can do comics, right? There's the Marvel way and the DC way. Marvel and DC don't own them, but that's kind of the way we refer to them. The Marvel way is a plot first. You know, you've probably heard all the stories. It was conceived by Stan Lee when he couldn't afford to hire writers, so he was just, you know, he was basically writing a one-page so if that, but he was writing like a one-page synopsis saying, here, Jack Kirby, here, Steve Ditko, go draw this, go draw 22 pages based on this one thing, right? Roy Thomas came in and kind of said, I want more control over that as the writer, so he expanded upon that and got to what they eventually went to as the page-by-page breakdown, in which the writer would say, on page 1, this happens. On page 2, this happens. On page 3, this happens. Without any of the dialogue, right? Without any, just the action. And then they let the artist go just draw it all. And then the artwork comes back to you and you go, oh, cool. Now here's what they're saying, right? And then the writer would write the script. I personally like that way because, in my opinion, I think the books tend to look visually better. I do write full scripts, which is when, you know, you write page 1, panel 1. This is the artwork that's in the panel. This is the dialogue that goes in the panel. Panel 2. I can do that and have probably in my career. It's been about maybe half and half ish, thereabouts, 60-40, probably 60 page by page plot. I will usually ask an artist if they are comfortable doing Marvel style. And some of them say no, but most of them say yes. And I think most of them prefer it because they're not prohibited by my vision of panels. I can just tell them the story and then they can, you know, make it come to life. So I'm trying to think. All of the Silverline books that I have written, with the exception of Bear, have been written that way.
I thought it was Burr.
Bear.
Burr.
Bear. It's actually Bear.
There you go.
Bear. Yeah, I tend to just say Bear. But yeah, Bear. Bear was written full script. But all the others have been page by page plot. Let's see if I've got one here.
And Boris said, while you're looking, Boris says the Marvel way of doing comics: hire Jack Kirby, then when he does something, steal it.
Well, yeah, okay, yes. So, for instance, this is my page by. Can I let you see this? Yeah, I guess I can let you see this.
We'll blur it out. Okay.
So this is my page by page plot for Cat and Mouse. This is the second issue. Wubba's already drawn the first issue. He has this in his hands, and this is what he's drawn from, right? So you can see, although Jeff is not going to be inking it now. So you can see, like, page 1, we've got a splash page, and then pages 2 and 3 is a double page spread. You know, I like the page, and then there's page 4 and 5, just basically telling them what's going on. And then you can see for the rest of the book, that's kind of what I do, right? 6 and 7. Now, you might ask, why do you have 2 pages together? Well, let me explain to you why I have 2 pages together. So there's like 8 and 9. So when you see me write 2 pages together, I got to get a real comic book. Those are.
Is that when it goes from across from one side to the other? And
well,
goes down?
so when you look at a comic, right? So this is page 1. This is page 2 and 3. This is page 4 and 5, right? You're always going to have an even numbered page on the left-hand side. I'm confusing myself looking at my picture because I'm on the wrong side there. And I'm like, wait, what side is this? Yeah. So you're always going to have even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, right?
Yeah.
Now, back in the old one,
page.
what's that?
Then until you get to the last page, it might just be an even.
Well, yeah, then you just got an even. But the even page is always going to go on your left-hand side, right? Odd page is always going to go on the right-hand side. Now, some people say, well, you know, Marvel and DC haven't always done that. That's correct. They haven't always done that. But as comics have grown and they have learned, this is something that you see them do now. If you'll notice, even when Marvel and DC did ads in the middle of books, a lot of times the ad was here and here, so that you could just take this page out and you still had an even odd, right? If you look at them, you'll notice that. It took me years to notice that as well. So when I write, sometimes I will combine the action of these two pages. That way the artist, because I'm interested in the first scene and I'm interested in the last scene, right? Because I do try to write for page turners, which are little mini cliffhangers, right? I try to put something on here that will cause you, the reader, right, to go, ooh, I got to turn the page and see what happens next, right? And you can say, if you've read enough of my books, I'm successful or not. That's a different discussion. But this is what I try to do is whatever happens here on the very last action here, or it could be, a line of dialogue or something. I try to do it so that it would cause the reader to say, oh, I got to turn the page and see what happens next, right? And so I will often describe these two pages as what, well, that's a double page spread, but like those two pages together, you can see 4 and 5 are added together because they would be 1, 2, 3. 4 and 5 would be together. The reader would see 4 and 5 together, right?
Okay.
Now, that changes digitally. There's nothing I can do about that, right? I get that digital does not view comics in the same way that we do traditionally, but I still write with the print reader in mind that this is what they're going to see. They're going to see even odd, even odd, even odd.
Now I'm going to go back to how kind of what I was asking at the beginning when I misunderstood what you were talking about. Now, when you're doing your script for the comic, on the ones where the artist goes, they start on the even, like across the top, and finish on the odd, then drop back down to the, like, say 4 and 5.
I don't let them do that.
And it goes from 4 to 5, back to 4 to 5.
Yeah, I don't let them do that.
That's
confusing. Yeah. More times than not, when that happens, it can confuse the reader as to where to read, right? A reader is often not sure whether they go all the way across, they read here and then go here and then up here, right? You can do it, right? But I try not to do that. And so actually, now that has happened in my books. In Trump's, actually, it did. One of the artists did that in Trump's. And I did not like that because it was tough to script after that point, because it's like, now I have to be careful where I place the balloons so that they pull you in the right direction. I hate to call that artist out because he's a fantastic artist, but I do recall having that issue in an issue of Trump's.
While you're looking that up, Low Vision Studio Lance Footer, who we had on last week, says, Roland, let me draw a sexy cover for you someday.
Holler at me. Yeah. We're doing
sexy drawing of Roland.
Yeah, I'm not. We're trying to sell comics, right? Yeah, because we're doing, one of the things we're doing is Miss Fury and Champion, which the second issue Tommy is probably working on right now as he's listening to us. At least he better be. Well, crap, where did that page go? Yeah, I know it had, because I remember trying. Oh, yeah. Okay, so right here, you see this one goes across both pages.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and see, there's the seam right there, right? So it starts here and then goes here, and then it's like, okay, well, now, so I mean, this one kind of works, but still, I'm not a big fan of these, just because, again, you've got the seam going right down the center of this action right here. And he did it fine. He didn't put like a face right in the middle, which I have seen happen. Matter of fact, if you've seen Cray, I love my buddy Steven, right? And Tommy knows what I'm talking about here. Steven Butler, longtime friend of mine, still super talented guy, but he did a double page spread in Cray, and check this out.
right through Craig.
Right smack in the middle. Yeah. You don't do that. What he should have done, and on hindsight, what we should have done is had the seam somewhere like right here, or even right here, so that you have this primary figure right here, either mostly on one of the sides, but instead he's right down the seam, and you gotta really stretch it open to see his face. So, but in Stephen's defense, this was one of his very, very early books. So, I don't think that he would do that today. Pretty sure he wouldn't do that today. But this was one of his, probably one of his top 10 books he ever penciled. So yeah. So I don't like it when they do that for those reasons, because it's confusing. Now I like double page spreads, but for me a double page spread needs to occupy both pages like this. I like double page spreads. I'm a fan of those, even though everyone's telling me I should go away from them because of digital. So I am trying not to write as many. Doggone it, they just when you get an artist that has energy, they just look so good. And I'm really inspired by like the Jack Kirby double page. Someone's got a Flickr account that has that they've collected a bunch of Jack Kirby double page spreads, and they're just so good. I'll send you the link.
Now I got something. So I got you on here, and I told you a while back. Once I got you on, I was going to do something. Do you remember what that was?
I don't remember right at the moment, but when you do it, I might remember.
You yelled at me.
Oh yeah. Wow.
We're not opening it.
Yes. Wow.
Because there's something in there, and no offense, I wouldn't have ate it anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't got good teeth, so.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. I can't believe you held on to it for that long.
I told you.
Yeah.
You want to explain to people what this is?
Sure. So for those folks who don't know, I guess 2 years in a row, or maybe did we skip a year? I can't remember. I think we might have skipped a year. These are mystery boxes. We put together mystery boxes that contain original artwork and some other goodies. Sometimes it's we print our Kickstarter books to how many people order, but let's say we have 75 people supported the Kickstarter book, we'll print like 90 copies, right? Because the creators get copies of them, and then if we happen to have a copy left over, we'll put it aside, something like that. They'll go in these. That's peanut brittle. Yeah,
got peanut brittle, and I bet you it's still good, because I don't think peanut brittle goes bad.
It probably is still good. I would look at it. If it's really sticky, it's not good. Yeah, yeah. I'll let you recycle my Christmas paper.
At least it's not the Chick-fil-A bag this year.
Well, dig deeper. Did you have a Chick-fil-A bag the last time?
Yeah, I had some kind of bag last time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's everything right here.
Yep.
I'm gonna go through, and I've been waiting. And you don't understand how many mystery boxes I have laying around. We found so many unopened mystery boxes when we moved. I have a problem, okay?
Yes, my name is Steve, and I love mystery boxes.
Well, Trish is just as bad as me.
Oh, really?
No.
Never. So you need to go full screen so they can see you.
I will here in a second.
Okay.
Let me get it.
Get the tape off of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of tape.
Well, I try to take care of when I'm shipping original art. And when I do the comics too, but I try to go the little extra mile and pack that bubble wrap and Christmas wrapping paper. I still got Christmas wrapping paper. So if you backed the Trumps 4 and Divinity 3, expect some Christmas paper.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go widescreen. You tell everybody what I got. Okay.
All right.
So let's go.
I saw Trish's arm. Oh yeah, that's a sketch cover, and that is obviously that's Bloodline. That sketch is done by that's Jose Fuentes.
Jose,
Yep,
who is the nicest guy in the world.
super
I
nice.
love Jose.
Yep, Silverline is lucky he's on the team. We're very glad to have him. Super nice guy, super talented as well. Oh, that's BattleTech. I forgot. Yeah, that's a BattleTech published by Malibu Comics around probably 92, something like that. Maybe 93. I don't remember exactly. You could look on the interior.
95. So I'm
90.
I'm going to say 94, 95 because on the back of Lords of Illusions, and that was in 95, February of 95. So
there you go. So yeah, so that's one of the things that we said.
95.
All right, very good. So that's one of the things that we said would be in the all of them is an older book that I did. So I signed them all, put one book in each of the boxes. So you got BattleTech, very cool.
Based on the animated series.
No, based on the
hit animated series.
Yeah, so you know why they did that? Looks like your corner got dinged too. Sorry.
That's fine.
So the reason they did that is it was actually based on the role-playing game, but the animated series had just come out and it was kind of a hit. So they were just trying to sell more copies.
Oh yeah.
But I hadn't even seen the animated series when I wrote that. So oh, then you got there's your Kickstarter Teen Beetle signed by John Crowther. And that's one of the flip books, Switchblade on the other side, signed by me. And that's one of those Kickstarter books I was telling you about.
Yep, and I have the original Switchblade. So,
and that is Sniper and Rook. That is the original Volume 1, Number 1, and you can see that is signed by John Medic. Now that is not the Sniper and Rook that we kickstarted earlier. That is Volume 1, kind of like Cat. He's doing with Sniper and Rook, kind of like what I've done with Cat and Mouse. That is his first volume. And then we're doing Volume 2. And that's Dean Zachary cover gallery, and I think that one has been signed by Dean as well. That one collects. This was I'm not sure if it's actually on Indie Planet yet, but it will be. This is just basically Dean has done a bunch of covers for us, and this is a cover gallery. On one side, you're going to see Dean's pencils. And then on the other page, you'll see the finished cover. So you'll be able to see what his pencils look like and then compare them to the final product. Very, 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 very cool book. It's a good looking book. Dean does some amazing covers.
So let's see.
You should see the then you got some signature cards there. Obviously, the one on the left is Twilight Grim. It's signed by R.A. Jones and Barb Kalberg from Divinity. Probably has Divinity logo under that. And then on your right,
had a birthday not too long ago.
Yes, she did. Yep. And then on the right is a Cat and Mouse signature card signed by me.
Let's see. Let's go.
It looks like, I don't know if it's a sticker or a magnet.
Stickers.
Okay, so I knew the one on the right was a sticker, and Trump's is also a sticker. We also have a few Trump's magnets like that. Probably it was a bad decision on my part because the legs have a tendency to break if you're not careful with them on the magnets. Oh, then you've got one of our classics. You've got the Mantis Files, which is the collected version of the miniseries that we did with Sid Williams and Thomas Giles.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's a horror project. I should send that one to Scott. Let him review that.
Okay, let's see. I got more tape. I got to get through real quick.
You didn't have that one, did you?
I don't think so.
Excellent.
And see, I bid on it. You don't know what you're getting. You just bid and hope you don't get outbid.
Yeah, by certain parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I should show folks the way I do it. I line up all the boxes, the FedEx boxes, right? And then I'll just go, and we number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think BJ numbered them this year. And then I'll have like 10 pieces of art, and I'm going to say, okay. And then I just go and I kind of drop them in. And then I'll do the same thing for the graphic novels and then the individual side thing. And then I'll go back in and package them up. So it's random the way I drop them all, drop the stuff in. But then I do go back in and package them up so that they're cared for.
Okay, so.
Oh, all right. Got that's a little mini print of Divinity there. Oh, another one that's it's from Divinity, and the character's name is Zach. That is Divinity's stepbrother, done by Rick Hoberg.
Yep.
And Barb, but Rick was a penciler. Another mini print of the cover from Cat and Mouse #1, done by Dean and Barb and Kevin Gallagly. A mini print of Twilight Grim #1 by Rob Davis. I think Mickey Clausen colored that. And a coaster. That's the first. No one but the mystery box people have those.
I don't think I want to use it as a coaster, though.
I know, right?
I'd be afraid of damaging it.
I will tell you this, and I hope Barb's not listening. Barb doesn't even have them yet. I have a stack of about, I think it's 25 for her, but I haven't even sent them to her yet. So they're still sitting in my house unsent to her. She will get a stack of them, but yeah, all you mystery box people are the first to have them.
Mike Thompson came on. Sorry I missed you, Mike. Good evening, Steve. Looking forward to Olo coming up in April. So are we. I'm glad. See, Mike with Thompson's Custom Creations, right?
Cool.
You got it.
I got it right the first time. Look at that. He's going to be at MegaCon, but still going to make it to our show the week after.
What a trooper.
I love that. Okay. Did I show you this one? I didn't show you this one.
No, that's Twilight Grim. That's by Alex Gallimore, who we have been talking with, and looks like Alex is going to make fingers crossed, going to make a return to do some Silverline stuff.
I'll show.
Yeah.
And a magnet.
Yep. Cool magnet. Put that on your fridge in your new house there.
Put it on my computer. Oh, wait, yeah.
No, you don't want to put it on your computer. It might mess things up, right? The magnet.
I know. I'm not going to put it on there. Okay, let me do this one.
So that is okay. There you go. That is a Cray cover. Those are the inks by, I want to say Barb did those. And yeah, on the backside is the pencils. Looks like Blue Line pencils. So
yep.
Yeah, that's the original inks. Not the original pencils, but the original inks to our Cray #1 remix. I think that was the Kickstarter cover too, I think. I'd have to look, but I think that was what that was. But yeah, that was to a cover.
I'm going to give that one to Trish, and then I get...
That is an uncut, I think, yeah, that's an uncut cover. That's what a cover, that's that was the Kickstarter exclusive cover for Trump's #1 that has the gold there, but that's uncut, unfolded. That's what it looks like when it comes out of the printer before they do any trimming.
And
that is extremely rare, sir. As far as I know, that's the only one of its kind.
Well, and I know, I remember when you went and picked up the gold one.
Yeah.
I remember that whole area. That's awesome. So that one's going to have to go into a print, or not a print, but a frame. So...
And that is a page from Bloodline. That is, it's actually kind of cool. Yeah, page 17, which you just got. You got the sketch cover for. So, yeah, that's page 17, inked by Terry Pallett from Bloodline. So,
that one's awesome. You know, I love my pages.
I do. I know you love original art. That is original pencils from Friar Rush, drawn by Aaron Humphreys. I can't see the page number,
It
but I
is.
think that's
It
issue
is
2.
issue 2, page number 16.
There you go. So drawn by Aaron Humphreys.
And last but not least, boom.
Oh, yep. You got a full-size print of the cover to Silverline Team Up Champion and Miss Fury. Oh, it says it right up there on the cover, on the top. Yeah. It's not quite a virgin cover, but we shrink the logos down to they're small so that you can focus on the art. So, yeah, that's a print of that cover.
So that is everything into there. I've been waiting for a couple months to open that.
Not a bad mystery box, is it?
Nope. That's why I keep coming back for them.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Well, what people don't realize is you have to fight to get these mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Up to the last day of the auction.
Yes.
Because if you don't, I mean,
somebody will outbid you.
Yep. And they will buy all 15 of them if they have a chance. And some of us are working stiffs and can't afford.
If he's listening, you're not going to call him by name, are you?
There's a couple of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were. Yeah.
I mean, there was only like 3 of us. You had what? How many did you have this time around?
The 10. We have 10 or 12.
I think you had 12.
Yeah, I think it was 12. Yeah.
And I think there's only 3 of us that were separate from the other.
Yeah. Let's see. We ended up with, 1, 2, 3. I think we ended up sending out 6 packages. So 2 of the people got multiples.
But see, at least I showcased what I got. I haven't seen anywhere saying what anybody else got.
I saw one person posted on Twitter.
Did they?
Yeah. One person who got 1 box posted on Twitter.
Yeah. So somebody like me who really loves what they get. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it is a little past 9, but we're still in our hour there. Anything you'd like to say before we take off for the night?
No, I know that the economy is tough right now. Everybody's trying to figure out how to pay bills, but we do have a Kickstarter going on, and so I would really appreciate it if you could get over there and support it if you can. Obviously, we don't want anybody giving their grocery money to our campaign. But
give your rent, but not your grocery money.
What's that? Your rent? Yeah, you give your rent. Yeah, there's always tent. We're in Florida. You don't need a house, right? Just get a tent. Of course, that you could. I guess you could back the Kickstarter from anywhere. But the Kickstarter versions have these cool foil covers. You can get the non-Kickstarter versions. They're not as much. Obviously, it costs more to do these. And so you can get non-Kickstarter versions. And really, bottom line is, if you can't afford to back it, share it. To just share the campaign out and say, hey, these cool people that I know have this campaign going on, and they could use your support if you can support them. So that costs you nothing to do. So yeah, we do ask that share it if you can. Back it if you can, and share it if you will.
Share it if you can too.
Yeah.
Share it if you can, back it if you can, review it if you can.
Yeah, and if you review it, please let us know, tag us or send us a link and let us social media it up. We will, even if it's not now if you're trashing us personally, we won't, obviously. But if you're just, if you're like, hey, I don't like the book and here's why I don't like the book, we'll still share that. We want reviews. We want to know that you're reading it, right? And if you read it and tell us that you don't like it and tell us why, then that lets us know that you read it. I think I have a new tagline for us. So, Steve.
So it's look. Okay, I'm going to stop it real quick before you tell us.
Okay.
Because around my house, and this wasn't here because of tonight. This is just around my house. I have. Hold on, I got to take you out of
Yeah.
so people can see. I have
Oh!
this going around, okay,
Nice.
and it's sitting on my desk. It's been sitting on my desk since I moved into the house. It's been here
Sweet.
all around my house in all my books because I actually have an area that I call my library now.
Right.
It's where I put a lot of my comic book. Well, mostly it's all comic books and stuff, but I call it the library. Okay. I'm going through in all my books that I've like the graphic novels and stuff have Silverline bookmarks in them to keep their pages. And I have those all over the place. Yeah, I think I have like all of those.
You should have, you should have all of those. That's why I try to keep them all right up here.
But
it's funny
I
because
actually use them.
Yeah. Well, I keep these here for my reference. I do have a couple that I use in my books, but I keep these right here for my reference so that okay, what did I do for this last one? And
if you go into my bathroom, there's 2 books with them in there too. So.
So are you on Twitter at all?
Yeah, we're on Twitter. I don't do a lot on Twitter except for advertise.
You know, if you follow comics Twitter much at all, there's a lot of drama there, right? And you know us, we don't get into the drama. So that's my new tagline. Silverline, we make comics, not drama.
But bring your llama and we might let your mama pet it.
Bring your llama to the drama. But not your mama.
Let's see. Mike Thompson, MegaCon, then Olo the next week. Then the next week after we'll be in South Carolina for SD Comic Con.
I would like to. I've never done a show in South Carolina. I would like to do South Carolina sometime.
Mike Thompson, I mean, I saw what they did at MegaCon last year, and they were running out of stuff on Saturday.
Wow.
Because they were swamped. But they had the perfect area because everybody had to go around them. So everybody had to stop and see them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I wish them luck with the Devil Box Convention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
Not that I can think of. We stream Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So tune in and join us there. Ask us questions.
All right, and then there you get the whole group for the most part.
Yeah. And I host a Sunday night. We have different groups on all 3 nights. So and there's anywhere from like Tuesday nights are usually our lowest. We got 2 or 3 guys there. They've been down a little bit. Wednesday night, I think they had 8 people last week or last night. And then on Sundays, there's usually 3, 4, 5 of us.
All right. So with that, guys, this weekend, once again, you got Sci-Fi Bartow in Bartow. Free event. It's not a convention. It's a block party that is now 12 blocks long.
Wow.
Car shows, cosplay contests, everything. 10th anniversary. Roland and Tommy need to ride their bikes out there. You know.
Hey, are you taking the Punisher truck?
No, not this year. No. You remember we were talking about how much gas?
Yeah, I do remember.
I don't mind driving all over the state of Florida,
but not the truck.
Not the truck.
Right.
Now, the truck has actually been in the car show at Sci-Fi Bartow before.
I would imagine, yeah. Perfect place for it.
But with that, and then Sunday, up at the Ramada in off of Hartley Road in Jacksonville, the Ramada Conference Center is Retrorama, another free event. Great event. I love going up there. Those guys know how to put on a good convention. They also do some work with the charities and stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to hold the auction this year, but or this time around. They do it like 3 times a year. And it's, like I said, it's always free to get into. Great time. Comics, toys, collectibles, everything you want you can find it there. I never leave out of Retrorama empty-handed. So
Sounds
with that,
fun.
guys, I don't think anything else. Olo, April 8th. Come out and see us the week after MegaCon. Some of you might be still getting out of the parking lot from MegaCon at that time. Just hop on over. We have free parking. And we're only $8 to get in. So, and Roland, hang on after the show and we'll talk for a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
All right. With that one, guys, make mine Silverline, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.
Drinking tonight, I won't remember any of this in the morning. I won't remember